one. Okay, we live, G.
Well, you on my page?
No, I gotta share it and all of that. You can get it off of mine and share it. Okay. I'm getting it together this way. Yeah.
Have you seen us?
Nope.
No, not yet. All right, y'all. What's happening? This is your girl, Lotus J. We live at the Vibe, HighVibe Media Marketing Group. And this is our Tuesday show, The Blacker the Berry. Hey!
What's up? you talking to me?
I'm talking to you. Ain't nobody else at the table with me right now. It's got to be you, homie. What's happening?
You tell me.
What was the highlight of your weekend?
The highlight of my weekend. We won our first game.
Yay! What was the score?
Basketball game. Man, I don't even want to say.
I do. Say it.
It was like 30-2. It would have been 100 if I.
Did you feel bad for them other kids?
I really did. That's why I pulled my starters out.
And just let the other ones play?
Yeah.
So you think you're going to have a bomb squad this year?
I thought I was until I got news today that a few of them ain't passing. So.
Aww. So they got to sit out the whole 6 weeks?
Well, this is the parents did this, so.
So you might be able to talk to them?
No, I mean, I want them to know that they got to pass.
And you in support of that?
But I want them to let me work with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think, science. I've got like 3 brothers on the team, and I think they're foster brothers or something.
So they're struggling with science?
Yeah, they're 6th grade, and they're struggling with science. And I'm like, I did too.
Yeah, me too.
I did it, but...
Science was my hardest. Let me see. Science and I think trigonometry was my toughest subjects. So
I loved geometry. Like, I couldn't wait.
What do you think my favorite subject was? It should be so easy.
Was it a speech? Do you have a speech class?
I did. That wasn't what I was thinking. Why? Because I like to talk.
Art, speech, music. I ain't gonna give you nothing else.
I'm not intellectual.
I didn't say that.
My favorite subjects were history and English.
Really?
Yes, because I love history, even though I knew it was a bunch of lies.
Without a doubt. I mean, we didn't know. I didn't know it then.
No, exactly. Now I know, but I didn't know it then.
I feel so.
Don't you feel cheated?
I feel like we were just duped.
We were. So
we
look,
learned all that history about everything,
and it was lies.
But us.
And even the history we did learn wasn't all the truth.
All we knew was Martin Luther King.
That's it.
Like he was the only black
man.
You
knew something about Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, only Black History Month.
But that's it. But today I took Naya to open up her bank account. So the guy who helped us open it, he is a history major too, and he said the same thing. He was like, because he was asking her what is she going to study in school, and so she told him journalism and what she wanted to do. So he said he was a history major, but he was like, I feel like cheated because the only history we know is a bunch of lies. And he was from the Middle East somewhere, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Mm-hmm.
He was Middle Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
He said that.
Mm-hmm.
What about he felt like he was robbed of his history or us?
He said the history here in America is just not true. It's just not the true history of the world history that they present is so surface. Is
that only in America?
Well, he studied here. So he is like his heritage is Middle Eastern, but he studied here.
Got it.
So he still grew up under American history. Yeah. But yep, I liked history and English, and I liked English because I like to write, and I like to write, read, and speech. How'd you know I like speech?
Because you got a radio station. You cannot like speech and have a radio station.
You cannot like talking.
It just won't work.
You cannot want to talk.
Work.
So yeah, so the basketball team, that was good. What do we have going on? Oh, the Chicago Steppers came and took over Brick House this weekend, and it was a beautiful sight. Dr. Lucy came to hang out with us this
When?
weekend. Friday. She was there Friday. I didn't tell you that.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. She probably. Yeah, she came to hang out Friday. So you all will see Dr. Lucy in a little bit because she'll be joining us tonight.
Late, Dr.
He was late, Friday.
By design, I might add.
By design. Okay. So that was but yeah, so Chicago Steppers, man, we had a ball, especially Sunday. They just packed the house out and it was fabulous. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice.
That was this weekend. It was a really good weekend, I think. What else? This weekend coming up, we have well, first on tomorrow we have a man and a woman's point of view. However, we're shifting it to the situation, so we're kind of excited about that.
Are y'all on the show tomorrow?
No, I'm moderating because Talitha
okay.
won't be there.
Got
So
it.
tomorrow it's going to be G, Frank, Andre, and then Felton. Yeah, Cornell. And Cornell has a very interesting story of kind of going all the way to the left and then making it back. So we're talking about substance abuse and the impact that it has on the community.
Some
So
people don't make it back.
I know. So it's crazy, and we're gonna post the pictures later tonight and then tomorrow. But to see him 20 years ago, he looked 20 years younger now to me.
Yeah.
Don't you think so? Like when you saw those before and after pictures, he looks
like two
much
different
younger.
people.
Completely. So that's going to be an interesting story. So y'all come out tomorrow to Brick House Lounge. We want you guys to come out and get involved in this conversation. If you've dealt with substance abuse, you have somebody in your family, or you struggle with it, or you just know the impacts, or you have some questions, come hang out with us tomorrow night and we'll dialogue about that. So it's going to be a good conversation. So that's Wednesday. Thursday we have our new Thursdays is line dance, and it's a lot of fun. She's just teaching all the line dances, old and new. So that's your chance to come and learn the steps on your level before you go out and do it on the weekend and don't know what you're doing.
Don't come out on the weekend trying to learn line dances in the middle of
the floor.
No,
it don't work.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. And then the DJs is
And
gonna
you're
make
gonna be
everybody
bumping into
stop
everybody,
and turn,
knocking people off.
face the stage,
Yeah, don't
all
do
of that.
that. No.
So just come Thursday and check it out.
Or learn at home. Google.
No, come Thursday.
Oh, if you can't come Thursday, Google line the
You
line
be messing up
dance that
all
you
my
want.
little marketing and commercials and all that kind of stuff. There's no option. Y'all come hang out with us Thursday night and learn some line dances. So that's this Thursday. Then we have our Friday night, Retro Friday. So it's going to be fun. So check this out. This week, Sunday, we are doing Let's Break Bread Supper Club. We're going to Brick House in DeSoto for brunch. So meet us there at 12. What's that? You know the address?
What time is brunch?
12.
It is?
To 2.
I can't do it.
Why?
You remember the tournament?
Sunday?
Yes. It's Sunday.
You can't keep missing all of
I
them.
keep telling you, like,
You didn't tell me you had a. You told me tournament next week, but I thought it was on Saturday.
next week is Super Bowl.
No, last week you said I have a tournament.
Next Sunday, the 28th.
Dang. What time is the tournament?
1.
We might be doing
You remember
brunch
the
Saturday.
text I sent you today about the tournament? And you said, "Oh, okay."
Today?
Yes.
You didn't send me no text about the tournament today.
How much? How much?
You didn't.
I bet you $2.
Okay, $2.
Bet.
Pull it up. Let me see. We finna find out right here. Okay, so anyway, why he proving himself wrong? Cause I didn't get it. And don't be sending me nothing right now. What did it say? Oh, no, this is the poker tournament.
That's what I said.
Oh, I was thinking about basketball.
Oh. No. POKER is poker.
Well, we're opening at 11:30.
And? What's your point? Come on, Lotus, we already behind.
So you can still go.
How?
You don't have to be there. You weren't there the last time.
And I know. And I said I'll never miss another one.
Well, I'm gonna be there.
You can if you at the. How you gonna be there?
I'm not gonna be there the whole day. I think
both. No, it ain't gonna work.
G can do it until you get there.
What about until you get there?
Until I get there, I'm going right after brunch.
What's next? We can argue about that later. What's next?
Dang, you messed my head up. Okay, so what else? Oh, then we have poker tournament. Are we doing a Super Bowl party?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Super Bowl party will be next week Sunday. That's it. That's all I got.
Who you got?
I ain't rolling with. I don't know.
I know you don't like Brady. You should like Philly. They're green since your team couldn't make it. At least you can pull for another green team.
Another green team. I'm going with the green team. I'm rolling with the underdogs. That would be Philly.
All right, let's.
Who you rolling with?
I want Philly to win, but they're not.
Yeah, ain't you sick of
Let me tell you what a man once said. The Patriots are a pretty good team. They're a great team. Brady is probably the best quarterback ever. I know I know people don't like the Patriots. I get it. But a man once told me, if you hate on greatness, you'll never be great.
Oh, I don't hate.
Just saying.
I can't hate because let me be great. Let me be great.
Like if you don't like Michael Jordan, you will.
You're a hater. You're just a hater.
You'll never be good because you can't.
I don't take nothing away from Tom Brady though. I really don't.
You cannot like New England as a whole,
but you got to give him his props.
That dude is bad.
Yeah, he is.
I don't care what
he is.
He's just good.
He is.
He puts in the work. He's just good. You can't have that, and he should have 7 rings already.
How many he got? 6.
He got 5.
So this gonna be 6.
They lost a couple.
This gonna be 6
plays. Yeah, if they win, it'll be 6.
Well, we know they're gonna win.
So I'm just saying that he's bad.
I think Tom Brady is the quarterback. I really do.
And Belichick is a good.
Now, of course,
he's got discipline. I don't know if you notice his teams don't clown and act like the rest of the team. He just won't allow it. That's why they win so much.
Because they focus on the game. It's not about entertaining.
It ain't about what we're going to do after we score a touchdown, and he won't allow them to do that.
Well, that's good.
But anyway.
I can't stand all of that extra stuff.
Cooning.
It is. Okay, so that is Super Bowl Sunday. So y'all come hang out with us at the Brick. We won't do a cover charge. We'll have wing and fish specials and all that good stuff. So y'all come hang with us. That's all I got. Let me run this out. We do have our basement party and Ty Diggs' birthday party coming up on the 2nd of February, and then we also have our anniversary party on the 17th of February. So y'all watch out for that. Okay, for real. One more. And then
how many
I'm
years
done.
is that, Lowe's?
6.
Okay.
I am Team Brick House. I know.
Okay. You didn't say it as well.
Oh, yes. This is our 6-year anniversary. He likes to test me to see if I know what I'm talking about. One other thing, you all be watching for, of course, the Black Panther movie is coming out. And I think it's coming out on the 16th of February, which is that Friday. So on the 15th, we're doing a pre-screening, and it is a fundraiser at the Movie Studio Grill in Lincoln Square in Arlington. And that's a fundraiser for the Doc Bookshop. And then after that, the movie screening, we're having an after party at Brick House. So y'all come hang out with us on that. And then we got some more great stuff coming up. But y'all got to just tune in and just kind of pay attention to see what's going on. Be watching for announcements on the Jet Relay Festival as well. It is the first HBCU track meet, and it is hosted here in the DFW area, actually in Fort Worth at Clark Stadium. So vendors, if you guys are interested, it's going to be a really big deal, really big event. Y'all can get in on that as well. I'm done. I did all of that real fast. Oh, she here.
Solo here? You want me to go get her?
No. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do? I'm just talk to myself. Dang, I could have did all of those announcements then. Let me tell y'all a little bit about the Jet Relay Soul Festival while he's going to get Solar. So the Jet Relay Soul Festival is an HBCU festival, and it is going to be a really big deal. It's kind of on the same lines as the Grambling Prairie View game. So we definitely want you guys to participate, come out, watch, support. But there are a lot of really, really big track meets around the nation, but none of them are centered around our people and our culture and our heritage. And we have a lot of very talented athletes. So we're trying to put together something where we can showcase the talent that we have. It's going to be a track meet, a college festival, a job fair. We got a lot going on. Vendors, we'll have some performances. It's just a lot going on. So y'all definitely want to be a part of the Jet Relay Soul Festival. You can find us on Eventbrite. You can find us on Facebook. And we also have a website, jetrelays.com. So y'all check that out. And you can get your tickets in advance. And again, if you want to be a vendor, we got some vendor spots available. It's going to be a really, really big deal, and that is on March 10th. All right, so I've done all the talking I could do, because contrary to popular belief, I don't talk that much. I don't want nobody saying anything other than. But yeah, we're going to. I held it down all that time just talking. Hey! Yeah, we live. Come on in. All right, so we're going to do our segments, and then we're going to take a quick break, bring our guests to the table, and we're going to get into our discussion. Our discussion tonight is Africans in America, and then, of course, we got to talk about the Orange Puppet and his comments and all that goofy stuff that he said.
This week?
It's more than one?
Every week he's...
Oh, what comment? I thought you meant.
At least.
Yeah, he's just a fool. Foolery. Just tomfoolery. All right.
How long is it going to take you to get your Black History Fact? I'm just asking. Now, you late. Don't come in here being pushy.
Here we go.
You know what?
Who's ready?
I'm ready. As soon as I scoop my chair
This
up,
is Solar.
they know who I am. What's up, y'all? Solar in the building tonight.
Solar is in the building.
You
want to tell us anything about your weekend, or we just going in? We already did all that.
We're just going to go in, because I can't even remember what my weekend was like.
Okay. All right, G, come on.
Some music?
I got you some music.
Let's go.
Who was he? A king. Georgie. Oh no, that's not George.
Okay, I'm say.
That is the
This a
king.
movie, huh?
When it hits you, let me know.
This a movie?
That's Christ. Was Christ greater than Georgie?
I'm not good with movies.
He's greater than George. He's greater than Shaka.
Oh.
Shaka Zulu.
He said the name. You can't. That's what that is. Shaka Zulu.
His death.
He's trying to talk about
hanging
Christ
from a tree
in Shaka's life.
near weeping old women
I ain't trying to hear it.
is not worthy of a king. No, it's not.
I like that movie.
Not
too.
worthy of a king.
How did he come to die? He was betrayed.
Okay, we're done listening to that.
He tried to visualize the movie in his
I
head.
know.
Let me just say this. No,
He
let me
want to
just say
watch
this
the
real
whole
quick.
movie on the show.
just say
Like,
this real
we
quick.
working.
When you come in 30 minutes late, whatever we tell you, that's what you do.
Uh-oh.
When you're late, you have no rights.
You sound like a
No, I'm just saying when
a
you
master.
late. No, that ain't got a. That's a lateness rule.
You sound like a
That's
master.
an unwritten rule. When somebody's late, you're supposed to be tiptoeing. Yes, sir, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Can I get you anything? That's what you're supposed to do when you're late. Now go ahead.
Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, a master.
Yes, sir, master.
Now we can continue.
Yes, sir, master.
See what I got to deal with every Tuesday night. Okay, so my Black History fact is real quick. On November the 11th, 2017. See how current that is?
That
It's
fool
like
took
you're-
off.
That's
office.
like 2 months ago.
But it's current.
Yeah, that's 2 months ago.
It's not-
Okay,
Black
that's
History.
good. What happened?
But Tiffany Haddish, y'all know Tiffany Haddish?
Mm-hmm.
The chick who played on Girls,
Girls
Trip?
trip. Mm-hmm.
That's really when I found out about her on Girls Trip. But Tiffany Haddish was the first black female to the first black female stand-up comedian to host Saturday Night Live. Now, although that is
Which one was she?
The goofy one, the extra,
with the long curly hair.
the extra hood chick. She making it on
funny.
hood.
That was a funny movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, but she was the first female black female comedian to host Saturday Night Live. Now that is a great accomplishment.
I didn't know. I thought it would have been a Whoopi or somebody.
No, it was her. But congratulations, Tiffany Haddish. You know, she has been making some great strides in her career. She has elevated. So this year is her year. She put out a memoir in December. So she's really moving. But one of the things that I want to reflect on is that it is the year 2018, and we still have black women or black people in general still being the first to do stuff. And we have to make sure we recognize and document that, because of the type of, you know, society that we live in, that you have to say the first black female,
which is crazy in 2017, 2018.
Right.
I agree.
So, but I mean, you know,
that
kudos
just really
to
don't
her.
seem right.
It don't.
It's amazing, you know what I'm saying, that she, you know, she can, you know, tell her grandchildren about that one day. But, you know,
Out of all the other comedians,
That's crazy.
wow.
what do you mean out of all the other comedians?
All the other black
Because
female
there's so
comedians in the
many-
world just now.
Oh, well, yeah. And finally, you know, now. So maybe because she's a black female, I didn't get a chance to research to see if there were any black males
That has
That's-
hosted.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh yeah, Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart and
Oh, well, see, there you go. So
Saturday Night Live.
So it's more of a gender thing.
yeah.
You know?
Saturday Night Live.
Dave Chappelle hosted Saturday Night Live.
Do you know this, Lotus? Don't just be
I'm
talking.
looking it up.
No, I'm just saying if you know it. If
Yes.
Okay.
I'm for the verify.
Well,
still
so
though.
it's more of a gender thing then. You know what I'm saying? So women are still kind of falling behind, even with that thing with Monique. Y'all know about the whole Monique situation, right?
I got mixed feelings about that. Though.
I have mixed feelings too, but women are still.
I just don't. I'm just not gonna just hate on. Even if I disagree with Monique and think whatever I think, I'm not gonna bash her for feeling that way and saying
I don't
that.
think I'm not bashing.
I can just say I feel you, Monique, but I ain't with this boycott. Or yeah, I agree, I'm gonna boycott. I'm not just like people have been bashing her.
I know, and that's a shame. But you know,
I mean, I think she was out of line by saying she was the most decorated comedian because she ain't even in the top 20.
But
I
that don't
do.
matter.
I felt like she crossed the line, but it ain't no big deal. I ain't gonna go and bash her for that. But people are bashing her for that.
It's too late. You just did on the Black of the
No,
Bag.
I didn't. She ain't in the top 20. That's just true. She ain't no most decorated and celebrated. No. So. Anyway.
Okay.
We all know that. It's a million of black comedians in front of her.
Females.
Like living right now. Eddie Murphy, Chris
Female.
Rock, all of,
Female.
No,
we're
she didn't
talking
say
about
female. She didn't say female.
No, we're talking about female.
No, I was talking about Monique's statement.
But Monique's statement was, she said that it was gender and race based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
she
she
left that part off and she'd have been good. But
Left
people
what
are going
part off?
about her being the most decorated.
Oh.
No, you're not. But just
Well, you
mistaken.
can't blame somebody for feeling how they feel about themselves.
No, most decorated ain't something you feel. That's something you know, and that's a fact.
Some people
can't
think
feel-
that they are
you
the
can't-
smartest.
That's
out
cool
of-
if she thinks she's the smartest, but the most decorated is something somebody else has to bestow you
upon
with. Yeah, you can't be self-proclaimed most decorated. Where's your hardware?
based on what?
You know what? Y'all ain't right.
I just saying.
Okay, come on,
You
my
ready?
turn.
All right, now
Put it
this is
on.
going this.
We got some
of this-
sunglasses for yours.
Yeah.
That's what I thought
Some
you
of,
was gonna do.
yeah, no, it's her. She ain't
Okay,
with
come
you.
on.
Some of this is a little offensive, but so just be prepared.
So? Okay. It's so, like, you don't even care tonight. It's the 23rd.
All right, here we go.
I knew you was gonna play that.
Look what I got from the kitchen. I got
It's a movie.
You know this one though.
I said it so long.
Can we get some words?
You will.
Because all we hear is crickets. I'm about to fall asleep.
That's
over
where the
it.
term comes from. Roots, crickets.
So is it Roots?
Oh my God.
It's so hard to look at him. I was like,
That is
Which
funny.
characters are talking?
Hitler. Hitler on the roof. That's Hitler on the roof.
What's gonna happen to me?
Just listen to this scene for like 30 seconds.
I used to eat what the pigs won't eat.
Ooh, I can see
This is
it.
when Kunta, he just cut the chain.
I can see it.
Running off in everything I got, everything I worked for. And it ain't much. It'll all be gone. Philly want me to stay? No. You can't stay now, not with them broke off chains.
I remember watching this as a little girl,
You done
and then I remember watching it with my children.
yeah, we used to watch it every year
You done it.
Yeah.
You got to
for
go
like
right
3-4
now.
days straight.
And then my son, it's Blue Day. That blue is pretty on you. And then my son, I remember my oldest son, he did not want his brother and sister to watch. Mama, don't make them watch that. I said other children had to live this. They lived through it. Y'all gonna watch it. You gonna see what your people went through.
And we used to watch
Okay,
that
Jake.
every year. KJ used to get tired of it.
I don't care.
Hey, mama.
Okay, so this is our African proverb for the week. Like to hear, here it go. No matter how hot your anger is, it cannot cook yams.
So basically, it don't matter how mad you get, it ain't gonna change nothing.
Get over it.
Right.
What you got, G?
Sounds like you just confirmed she was.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another one. A good name is better than a
You know that's
good.
2 weeks in a row. You got it right.
A good name is better than a good
You must have stopped drinking or
perfume.
something.
This yours. Go.
Huh?
He didn't hear it. He didn't hear it. She
A
said-
good name is better than a good perfume.
That means that no matter what you wear or how you smell, your reputation precedes you. That's what people are going to remember you by. Your character, not your glasses or your braids or your blue shirt.
I
or
mean,
your
can
beige
you point
shirt.
that way? It's like
Or your black outfit.
Picking
They
on
don't
me.
care. It's your character that people are going to remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember people's cologne, perfume.
Not if they had a stank attitude. The stank attitude supersedes the beautiful smell.
I'd be like, girl, you smell good, but put that attitude away.
If she got an attitude, I can't even smell her perfume.
Really?
If a woman got a stank attitude, I can't see nothing but stank.
No matter how cute she is, no matter how cute her outfit
I can only
is,
see stank.
how fly her hair
It
is.
don't matter. If your
The red bottoms
your
ain't
spirit
impressive.
is bad, I see a monster like Freddy Krueger. Like for real, that's me.
Not Freddy Krueger.
That's
my.
just what it is.
Okay.
I'm like the dude on Shallow Hal. Like when he got hypnotized, he could only see the inside.
That's it.
So he was dancing with these big girls,
I
and
wonder
like
what my
he could
inside
only see the inside.
would look like. I think I have a good inside.
I think you have a good inside,
I
too.
think so. I try to. Come on, G.
Oh, okay.
I need
I'll
to
make
start
it.
doing your music.
You can do my music.
Because he gets so into it.
Well, we know that's the movie.
We might as well just play. Let me tell you what song this is, because the whole theme music night went south. It made me want to watch this movie. I
Of
might watch
course,
this
I
tonight
love
when
that
I go
movie.
home. Even though it was a spin-off, right? Is that what they said? Did black people do the Lion King?
I don't know, but they sure did the play.
Oh yeah, we gonna always rehash it.
And make
But
it slide.
we
Like the
weren't- we
Wiz
weren't
versus the
involved.
Wizard of Oz.
Were we involved in the making
I
of
don't
this
know.
in any kind of way?
I
might
can't
ask
say.
Dr.
I want to
Lucy.
say yeah. I don't know. They know.
Don't that have a ring to it? Ask Dr. Lucy.
G just started a new show called Ask Dr. Lucy.
Oh,
Think about
that
that.
sounds good.
I'm telling you, I'm
And we gonna do
king
and then we gonna
marketing.
do a little news strip,
I like
advice strip.
that.
Ask Dr. Lucy. All right, y'all. Come on, Petty Rock.
Okay.
He's going through his repertoire.
I am going through the repertoire. I know I probably said this one, but it might have been years ago.
Okay, Barry White.
If your child is less than 5, they are not in school. They're in daycare. So
That's not true.
What did he say? If they're not in school?
That's not true. There's
your
3-year-old
child can't talk.
and 4-year-old
he ain't in
kindergarten.
school.
Well,
Huh?
you can talk at 5.
That's
you can talk
daycare.
at 2.
Parents are taking those kids there for daycare.
I'm
No.
confused. Wait.
And if
can
they
you
learn
say that whole
something-
thing again?
And if they learn something, so be it. But most of them are just, it's daycare
Most?
for them. What?
I'm confused. What are you
I know.
saying?
What you confused
If your
about?
child is younger than 5, then what?
This is my opinion, so I can't be wrong.
You can be wrong.
Opinions.
Because it's fact that they go to 3-year-old kindergarten, 4-year-old kindergarten,
Yeah,
and
2-year-old
5-year-old
kindergarten, 1-year-old.
And you have Head Start.
What? 1-year-old pre-K? No, that's daycare.
But you have Head Start programs, and you're active like in Head Start programs at infant stage. I know,
Daycare.
because I worked at one.
That's daycare.
It doesn't matter. You still have to work with those children and teach them. When
You
they're
are
babies.
watching those
They're
kids until
feeling
them parents get off
textures.
work.
No, you're not. They're feeling textures. That so you're tracking their development. Their
You tracking that clock, see what time their mama come picking them up.
Well, maybe those are people who just look at it as like they're babysitting.
Well, all right. What else you got? That's it.
One more thing and then we're done. Then I'm done. I forgot my shades.
Come
We
on, go
forgot
like
our
this.
shades. It's too late. If you don't trust me, I don't trust you. Now,
So, if I trust you, that means you trust me?
no,
If I trust you.
not necessarily.
Yeah, because that's what you said.
I did not
You
say
said you
that. I said if you don't trust me, I don't trust you. Because if you don't trust me, that means you will do something because you don't trust me. So I may as well not trust you. You get
But
it?
it don't go both ways.
But you can trust me, and I still won't trust you. That don't necessarily mean I'm going to trust you just because you trust me.
You got a problem with trust.
But if you say you don't trust me, I automatically don't trust you because that means
I think
can't.
you suspect, so that means I'm capable of doing something
if you don't trust me, that means something ain't right with us, and you ain't gonna be on the level with something. I gotta watch you.
just
now.
because you're not trustworthy don't mean I'm not trustworthy.
No, I'm saying I may be trustworthy, but
if
you
I don't
think
trust
so,
you-
then I can't trust you either.
But how do you trust somebody that you don't really know that well? Like what if
Those
you just don't?
those are the best people not to trust.
Like if I don't know you that well, then why would I even trust you?
For example, I coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those parents trust me with their kids.
That's because you've been coaching their children.
But no,
and built a
I just started
relationship with
coaching. Each year I get a different group. So those parents trust me, and most of them have never met me. So that's not. I'm just saying. But even if I don't know you, or if I do know you, if you don't trust me, then I can't trust you.
This
That's
is
a
weird.
defense mechanism.
I can see it. I can see it.
He gonna smile.
Don't necessarily agree, but I can see it.
Think about it.
All right, y'all. We are going to bring our guest to the table. So, if Dr. Lucy and my sister Aisha, let me tell you about Aisha. Aisha started, she was part of the foundation laying of Soul Sister, which is the connection between Solar and I. And she was right there when we first started and was very active and supportive and just dependable and there. And I miss her. And she moved and left me. So now she's back to visit for just a minute. But anyway, y'all come on to the table, Dr. Lucy and Aisha.
I feel like we should be clapping them up. Like, come on.
It's time for Soul Sister to get back to rolling. That's just my opinion.
Agreed.
I know. I need some sisterhood in my life.
Anytime now is the time.
Agreed.
I need some sisterhood in my life for real.
Agreed. All right, y'all. So let me welcome our guests to the table. I'm going to let them get situated. And I'm behind the cameras now, so I know y'all can't see me, but that's okay. We're going to keep it moving. Just got to do what you got to do. Sometimes. And this is one of them times. All right, y'all ready? Yes. Okay. Yes. So, da-da-da-da. There they are. That is Dr. Lucy in the blue. Say hey. Hey. And that is Aisha right there in the green. Dr. Lucy is from Kenya and Aisha is from the Gambia. So we're going to talk a little bit with them about their experiences. And, of course, we're going to have to talk about that comment that y'all's president made. Because I ain't got no president. I kind of do, but...
I'm presidentless.
You presidentless? Okay. Y'all good?
Yes.
We good?
Okay. Dr. Lucy, how are you?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm good. How's your weekend?
Great.
What you do? She said,
Oh my God! That just reminded me of something.
She wants me to disclose my secrets.
I do.
Yay!
Yep. Tell it all.
You wasn't even supposed to say where she was Friday.
Can you believe that?
I told all of that.
Yes.
She didn't want people to know it.
I know.
It's
Dang.
a great joint anyway.
She said it's a great joint.
We had a great time.
Thank you.
Good. That's good. She and some of her friends came to hang out with us at Brick House. That was fun.
That's awesome.
Y'all were there the same day.
We were. We just left too early.
Friday.
Yeah.
You were cross-eyed. You probably couldn't see it.
And this is Aisha. Aisha is here from, well, she used to live in Dallas, Fort Worth area. And then she moved to, you went to Minnesota first, right?
No, Ohio.
Ohio. And then from Ohio, you went to Indiana.
No, I went to Maryland, Florida, Indiana.
Oh, you did all of that. I missed.
Maryland,
I missed a lot.
Ohio, Maryland, Florida, and then Indiana.
Yes.
So you went back up. Oh my goodness.
I missed a lot.
Yes.
Okay. So, what brings you back?
Visiting.
Okay, y'all take over because I'm not in front of my.
So wait a minute. Are you visiting now?
Mm-hmm.
So you moved already?
No, just work moves me around, so
Oh.
I'm a gypsy.
Oh. Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. I'm not in front of the mic.
Well, come get in front of the mic.
Do you have to talk so beastie to me?
Yes,
just
he
saying.
talks beastie to
That ain't beastie.
everybody.
She said I'm not in front of the mic. I said, well, come get in front of the mic.
Oh, Lord. All right, so let's talk about the African experience in America. And we touched on it when Dr. Lucy was with us a few months ago. But I personally think it is a very important subject. I think the first time you came, we did more conversating on bridging the gap between Africans and African Americans.
Correct.
Which is something that really, really, really needs some real attention, in my opinion. I personally don't even understand the division. I just don't even get it. However, I do want us to, let's start off with the comments that the president made about countries that Africa, countries in Africa, and what else did he say? Haiti and El Salvador. So what are your thoughts on the subject? Because Dr. Lucy reached out and she's like, I definitely think we need to talk about that. And Aisha had a completely different perspective, which I was like, what?
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to hear this.
So let us have it.
I'll start off by saying he was very disrespectful and shouldn't have said that. But he has a point.
He has a point.
Yes. The reason why most of us are not home or in the West is because Africa has not provided certain amenities to us for us to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're here. I wouldn't call it a shithole, but I would say it hasn't done right by its citizens, and that's why we're not there. Now, if it had, we wouldn't be here, and we would not have been insulted by somebody else because we wouldn't be here. We'll be home. So like I said, his choice of word is wrong. He was disrespectful, but as an African, he does have a point. I wouldn't have used those words exactly, but he does have a point.
But don't you think colonization has a lot to do with why Africa is not a thriving country like it could be?
Well, yes, you're right. And even up until this point, we're still being raped. We're still being taken advantage of. Yes, I agree. But at what point do we take our own destiny into our hands? At what point do we say, okay, what can we as Africans do to help Africa? to make it a place where we can stay.
Dr. Lucy, what do you think?
Well, his choice of words really came across disrespectful.
It was disrespectful.
And but then when we look at it, we are responding in an emotional manner. In that, we are letting those words affect how we respond instead of looking at the facts. So to me, I think I look at it as a waking up opportunity of where do we go from here? How can we change how somebody else looks at us as Africans or people from Haiti or El Salvador? How do you change how that person looks at us in terms of what are the things we're going to do today that 5 years or 3 years down the line when he's going for re-election, we can say we've moved the yardstick from the S-hole to something worthy of talking about, as opposed to, our African leaders getting together and asking for an apology. I mean, we all know how Donald Trump speaks. He spoke like that when he was running for president. So his use of that word shouldn't come as a surprise to us.
I think what's shocking is that he is supposed to be the leader of the free world. And a person with that type of status is supposed to set an example and set the pace, for everyone else. And so speaking is a large part of that. So if you actually felt like that, which I'm sure a lot of people do, he's just probably the only one to voice it in that manner. But there's a way, that you say things. Like, if I didn't like someone's haircut, I wouldn't say, you got an ugly ass haircut. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say that. I would say...
You might.
No, I would not. I would not say that.
I know her.
I may say something to the effect of, that looks nice on you, but, that wouldn't work for me. Or something like that. But it'll probably come out a little nicer than that. But I just think that there's a way that you say things, and because he's supposed to be an example, people are actually following his lead. That's why you have the racial tug of war that we're dealing with now, is because of how he come across. And secondly, at some point, somebody had, you can't make comments like that when you're really the primary reason, for these places, being in such dire need. Colonization actually destroyed, the African country. Even Haiti is still in shambles. You know what I'm saying? After they gained their independence, they're still in shambles. So I think instead of bashing a country or anything, if you contributed to their demise, then you need to be figuring out how to help. You know what I'm saying? How to get, exports or imports or something.
I think we all agree that his choice of word was wrong.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, but we cannot keep looking to outsiders to save us. Yes, they did the damage, but we don't expect them to save us. We need to look within to save ourselves. Because if we are going to wait on people that destroyed us to save us, it's not going to happen.
Can you switch it?
So, I know we're all angry about his choice of word, but we need to look at the bigger picture, and that's the continent. How do we solve our issues? How do we get to where we need to get to?
I totally get what she's saying.
You get what who's saying?
I get what she's saying, and I understand. I think his statement is more like, because when I hear something like that, I think a lot of people think America's a shithole country. Depends on what part of the country you're in.
True.
If you're in Detroit, or if you're in Flint, that's unacceptable. Mm-hmm. So for a president to say something about another country, and then you got cities all over America, crime-ridden, poor, homeless. So I know there are millions who think America's a shithole country. So he should watch his language, because we can all say, yeah, we got problems in our country.
Right.
So you can't say that's a shithole country, when I guarantee you every mother who lost a black son thinks America's a shithole country because you let these cops kill their kids and walk away scot-free.
I've not lost a son, and I still think America's a shithole country. Yeah. I'm just saying.
But he was, I get it. I mean, that's why I'm saying he's just not smart enough to know what to say and when to say it, So America ain't all that for you to be talking about other countries, even though some may not have the same what America resources has, but there's some stuff going on in America that make you like, no way, this is the greatest country.
I just think that it's also, it comes from like a person's perspective, right? And so I think that his background, he has white privilege, you know what I'm saying? And white privilege afforded him to have a great life and to really excel and grow his businesses and stuff like that in America. And so his perspective is, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Why can't, why can't you guys, do this and that? How did America get to be what America is today? Through fighting and wars and all of that stuff, right? So slavery. I'm thinking, and primarily through slavery.
And that's my biggest thing. Like, how dare any white person in America have anything to say about the people that you stole from their land and brought over here to build your country?
Right.
How dare, and I don't even hear any real conversation about that. Like, okay, so Africa's a shithole country. I mean, continent. He don't even know it's a continent.
Right.
But Africa's a shithole continent. But y'all went to get the people from Africa to come over here to build America.
Right.
There's no conversation about that. Like, we still stuck on the fact that he said that, not the fact that if anybody outside of Indians have rights to this country, it is the African people. Because we built this country on our backs. I'm just saying.
Woo. That was heavy. Who's going after that?
Why was that heavy?
I mean, because ultimately that's pretty much what it is. Like, how dare you?
But when you look at most of the Africans who have come now, they've made that choice. I mean, they looked at all the countries in the world and they picked this one. So there are good things here. Mm-hmm. There are opportunities that are open for immigrants who come here, and they become successful and they're able to contribute to the economy. And some of those same Africans, if they had stayed back home, they would not have had those opportunities. Right. And so, granted, if we don't just focus on the word that he used, there are areas that we have opportunities as a continent to improve on.
Right.
And like Daryl said, even here in America, there's a lot of things that we can still improve on. Homelessness, a country that is one of the, with the biggest economy, the first, in the category of the first world industrialized nation, we have lots of people who sleep on the streets.
Yep.
People who are not being fed. I mean, people who are hungry.
Can't get medicine.
Veterans who cannot even get appointments to be seen by doctors.
Right.
Those are issues that need to be addressed, that make this country, not look as great as if you were to expose some of those things. It doesn't look like a very great country.
I think it makes it worse because America has the resources and still won't do it, because our focus is the military to protect us from what we've done to other countries. Like, America's done so much to other countries that the defense budget is the biggest budget, because we got to protect ourselves from all of the dirt that we're doing. So who cares if this kid gets an education or is hungry or is homeless? We got to protect ourselves from the world. So I think because they have the resources to do more and purposely don't, that America is probably more of a shithole country than a lot of those others.
I think America is, but of course I don't have a lot of experience, so I'm not in your position because I don't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
And I wish that I did, but I don't. But what I will say is that I know that Africa and other nations are more than just the image that America wants to show us of those places. I know that there's more than, I know that there are some developed areas in Africa. Africa is the richest continent in the world. There's no way in the world. It's all underdeveloped everywhere. So I don't know. I think America has hypnotized its citizens, and it's not. We're just not giving the truth. We're not giving the truth about our status in the world, like G said, which is why there's such a emphasis on the military, because America knows that they've gone to all these different places and they justify all of their decisions, you know, based on what they feel is in the best interest of America or the powers that be. It's not even just about America. It's about the money. And so because of that, we are vulnerable. We're vulnerable because we place ourselves in a position to be looked at as the enemy to so many different countries. So now we're dealing with the fact that we're in a situation now where we're not protected as we once were, and we're not respected, and we're not feared like we once were. So we are more vulnerable now than what we were 20, 30 years ago. So you guys can join in the conversation. Give us a call if anybody wants to get in. The telephone number is 972-882-6146. Again, 972-882-6146 if you want to join in on the conversation.
Yeah, because I would like to hear about this agreement amongst the powers to punish Haiti. Like, somebody posted that as a comment, and I'm like, what?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. They said there's an agreement amongst the powers to forever punish Haiti.
Oh.
So I'm just curious to know what that is.
Who said that?
Cecil Collier.
Oh, okay. Maybe Cecil will call in and express a little bit more, elaborate a little bit more on
But
what.
I mean, what Dr. Lucy said about opportunities, I was having a discussion with a young lady, and she was saying that foreigners come over and make a better living than a lot of the people already here, especially a lot of the blacks who are already here, because they look at it, you know, differently. They come with the mindset of starting a business or getting an education, and a lot of us here, it's the culture is not. It doesn't support it the way it does if you're in Africa, because you know if you're coming from Africa or another country that, you know, I can go over there and I can start a business and I can do better than I'm doing here. But a lot of us here, the mindset is, you know, I can get high, I can get free housing, you know, if I have kids, I can get child support, I can get aid, I can get food stamps, and that's, you know, that's a mentality of a lot of us, you know, whether we like it or not. So I can see why Africans and other immigrants think that is, you know, and when you think about it, it's just like, where did we go wrong with our thinking to where it looks like a gold mine from somebody outside, and they come and a lot flourish, you know, come in and start companies and businesses, and a lot of us just are here from the start, and we don't even, it doesn't even cross our minds to open a business.
And I think in that aspect, Gerald, we can't really lay it on the white people who brought the blacks here.
I agree.
Because I think that comes in with self-responsibility.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with it.
And so what happens to most of the Africans or other immigrants who come here? Many of them start really at the bottom. Some of them come with already having graduated college in their own countries, but when they come here, that degree is not recognized. So you start off being the janitor, you have to go back to school and spend more money to become, you know, to get American educated, and so you can get the kind of job you're looking for. Other things that, you know, other communities do that help them is that they don't, they're not so self-centered, if that's the right word, that they can't live like 5 or 10 people in an apartment, so they can be able to save and be able to go to school.
Right.
And, collectively pool their money and help each other flourish. And so you will find that, Africans may look like they're doing well, but if you listen to their story of when they came here and where they are now, they've struggled. And on top of that, when most of us are coming, nobody actually orients you to what to expect when you come to America. Because like in Kenya, when I came, which is almost 30 years ago, we didn't have like 10 different types of milk. There was one type of milk, so you went to the store and you bought that type. Mm-hmm. Then I come to America and I find a whole caseload of milk. There's 1%, 2%, fat added, not added, all kinds of choices.
Buttermilk.
Yeah, and so there are things that we struggle through. You buy buttermilk thinking that it's the regular milk, and then you go cook tea, and the tea turns out to be something that you can't drink. Anyway, so when you look at the if you were to listen to the struggles that these immigrants have come here and had to endure to be where they are, you would find that there is value in African Americans teaching their children and encouraging them to also participate with these Africans who migrated from Africa, so that they feel challenged to be their very best.
You actually, you're helping my point real quick, and then I'm done. That's what I mean. That even helped my point by saying they come here and then have to start over, and to have the kind of character to do that. A lot of us in America have the head start, and we still don't ever get there.
But do you really have a head start? And I think that's where I differ a little bit. Because, okay, we come, we struggle, and we make it. But we come with a different mindset. We're back home, we're educated. We have mom and dad at home telling us, okay, we're poor, education is the only way out.
Right.
You got to work hard. There's no excuse. You got to do this. You got to do this. You come to America, and I know people are like, oh, slavery ended so long ago. But the effects are still lingering. You have a one-parent home where mom is at home, busting her butt, working 2, 3, 4 jobs. Mm-hmm. Who's at home to teach the girl or the son, you got to work hard, you got to do your homework, you stay off the streets, this is not an option, this is the only way to go.
Right.
You don't have that. And then you have the streets teaching you how to be a man, how to be a girl, what's acceptable, what's not. You grow up, that's what you know. And then you're facing discrimination, no opportunities.
That's
so
real.
for me, it's a different culture, different mindset. So I don't think it's fair to say you had a head start, because you really did not have a head start.
Well, my point is, if we're here and we're born here, we should know the rules right away.
But who's teaching you the rules?
Parents. Like, my parents taught me. So I'm not even speaking of me. Because my father had a business, and he told me I always have, get your education and get you a business. I'm speaking more in general. The root cause of it, yeah, you're probably right. But somewhere along the line, we didn't. And my parents and the parents from back in the day, they had that work ethic that they taught the kids. A lot of the older families they were like that. But it seems like somewhere along the line, somebody got complacent, and now it's not cool to be a janitor and to start over or to clean buildings. It's like it's beneath us all of a sudden. And white America didn't create that part. There are some injustices, but we created that somewhere along the way, where we don't have that. Our parents, parents don't even, working hard ain't even an option for kids. A lot of kids these days.
But Daryl, I think there's a lot of, I kind of agree with what you're saying, and I think that there are a lot of factors in place. Because, at one point, it was segregation, discrimination, slavery, segregation, discrimination, but all of that, and it's still a little bit of that. But then now it's like, okay, you said, yeah, in the 60s we had 50s, 60s, we had thriving black people that were developing communities and having their own
So how are we
business.
getting more
But
rights and we're doing less?
But listen, but now, toward the end of the 70s and the 80s, crack cocaine hit. So that's what I'm saying. There's like a lot of different factors that plague the black people as a whole. So when crack cocaine hit, that changed the family structure.
Well, and
you know what I'm
the
saying?
school system where you're supposed to start, where education starts. The school systems in the black community are crappy.
Yes, a lot of them are.
And if you, and that's not a head start to me, because if you can't get the basic education,
right,
you can't start off right.
But some of the societal issues are also expanding into the African community. So issues with drug addiction and we are encountering those right now. So we can't really just say it's an African American problem. Even the Africans are beginning to experience those same issues.
Right. Just from being in the surrounding.
Correct. And to add on to your point about you not having a head start, we don't have a lot of black mentors.
Right.
Who are willing to go out into the communities and give back and teach these young men and young girls that they've made African Americans who've made it to be successful. We don't have that mentorship that Caucasians are privileged to have.
We don't have the support system. We really don't.
And we don't have any, you will find a Caucasian child will have a trust fund. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How many black children do we have?
How many of them got a savings account?
Have a trust fund.
Right.
So even when you graduate college, you find that the white or Caucasian child will progress faster as opposed to an African American child.
Of course.
Yet this African American child may have been doing very, very well in school. Mm-hmm. This one only has a C, C grade, but this one has been getting A's. But when you look at their lifestyles, they're not even, you can't even compare.
Because we start from behind.
Way behind.
Let me bring the caller. Caller, can you give us your name? And we just want to open up the conversation.
My name is Kendrick.
Kendrick. How you doing, Kendrick?
Hello.
Good.
Okay. You want to share your thoughts on the topic? It's a better mic.
Yeah. First off, I was hearing y'all y'all was talking about America compared to other countries, it's the shithole countries. I kind of disagree, you know what I'm saying? Because here we have a lot of opportunity, and that's why a lot of people come from different countries to come here because of the opportunity. I understand that our ancestors and us, we done been through a lot, and we might not be respected a lot, but we still have opportunities here. And it's a better place to live than other places, So I kind of disagree on that angle, and I also don't think the reason why we go through a lot of stuff is because we don't come together. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it really is about. We waiting on them to fix it or they to fix it, but that ain't gonna help. We need to do a lot of it ourselves, and we got to stop focusing in on education is the key to success. We got to get out of that. I just really don't believe that education is the key to success.
You do not believe that?
You're saying education. Do you mean degrees or education? Because education can be a mechanic. It can be you can get educated on anything.
I mean schooling.
Got it. I get it.
After high school, we got to stop raising our kids to just say, you got to go to college, you got to go to college, you got to go to college. Because we just really do the numbers of how many kids that we send to college and how many debt that we are putting our kids in, and also the time that we are wasting, that we are doing this. We're not even feeding our kids' mind at early age and asking them, what do you want to become? All right, so you want to become this. How much money do this make? What do you want in life? How much money are you trying to make in life?
Right.
We just sending our kids to school and letting them get there, and then when they get there, they got to make a choice of what they want to be. So they talking to their friends, and they finding out what's easy for they can continue to party. This is where we're going wrong. We've been we selling it. We buying into the bull crap dream. They teaches you this to go to school. You need to go to college.
Right.
Or also this big thing about back in the day was like you can be whatever you want to be. I don't believe in it. I think you need to be whatever the world needs at that time instead of being what you want to be, because being what you want to be might not
be in demand for that.
What you need to do for your family.
Right.
That's what we got to get out.
That's
we got to
real.
get out of this perspective of not having nothing.
Okay.
Because you can't give a kid or say why like she was saying, people come from Africa. They come here with a vision. They come here with a mindset of where they want to go and what they want to do. The TV teaches American kids. You know what I'm saying? You turn on your TV, you're looking at Hip Hop Atlanta, you're looking at all your role models, all your black people that make money are really monkeys. You know what I'm saying? They make you laugh, they make you jump.
I resent that.
I'm with him.
I am so on your team.
I'm with him.
He said they
entertaining you.
Right.
So that's why white people do not mind. They do not mind at all giving money to somebody that would make you laugh, that would run and catch a ball, that would entertain you.
Actually,
because they are you still a monkey to them.
Right. Thank you for your.
Right there and try to buy a plant, buy something that employ people.
Right.
Give jobs. You're a threat now. You're not. Now you don't turn into a threat because you're employing people, so they got to hear what you got to say.
Right. All right. Thanks for your comment.
Thank you so much.
He got a lot to get off his chest.
And I agree with
I
that.
appreciate
And
that.
you know, I kind of always said, like I'm a big advocate for education, but I do feel like college is not for everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I do feel like you have to have a plan.
Right.
And if you don't have a plan, then I feel like maybe you need to go do 2 years of college until you figure that out, you know? Because you can get financial aid if you meet the qualifications and go to college for free for 2 years, you know? So I do think that if you do not have a plan, if you do not know what you want to do and what you want to be in life, then maybe instead of wasting time trying to figure that out, working at Walmart or whatever, you need to be, you know, in somebody's educational institution learning something.
Right.
I think
We have another call.
I think the issue here is why some of the things that make the African American child start from behind is the student loans. A lot of Africans, when they come here, and many immigrants, they don't go to school on a loan. So they work hard. And some of them, you know, they work overnight and then go to school. Somehow they make it work that by the time they're done with college, they don't have debt.
All that debt.
So Dr. Lucy, that's basically when I made my point. I wasn't saying blacks have it. I wasn't comparing blacks in America to whites in America. I was saying, like you made another example of my point. The mentality is different. Like you say, like Africans or immigrants will come over and work 2 or 3 jobs and try. But I'm saying with us, it's like, oh, I can get a loan? Okay, I'll get a loan. That's what I was saying. I was comparing how the mindsets are different. So that was basically another.
We have another caller, Cecil. Cecil, can you kind of get into that comment that you made earlier on our news feed? What is it that you said about Haiti?
Yeah, hey family, y'all looking good. This is a hot topic right here tonight.
Thank you.
Peace and thank you.
Right after after Louisiana Purchase was made and Haiti got their independence from France or whatever, there was agreed upon rule that especially all the European nations would be unkind to Haiti. As a matter of fact, the United States they even had an embargo or start putting sanctions on Haiti.
Right.
And one of the first things they went in and did was cut down all the trees. You know, it's an island, and without trees on the island, your island is really defenseless because it's like there's nothing to protect itself. And so ever since then, from there, all the other islands or the Caribbean islands or whatever have had, somewhat of I'm going to say an easy passage, but somewhat of an easier passage in Haiti to be able to make it to the States when they're there. Most of the time when Haitians were coming over, and still today, they're the first group to get turned away or the first group to get deported going back because because it still goes back to that talked about or agreed upon agreement that we're going to make Haiti, we're going to alienate them because these are blacks that embarrass the Pinto regimes that are out there.
Right.
And so they still do it to this day. When the earthquake hit, even the evangelicals came out just this time around here and said that Haiti was actually being punished for making a pact with the devil against the French back in the day for their independence. So they don't want us to be independent of them. They want us dependent on them because Haiti represented such a strong independence for black people to actually be able to look up on, especially in this region. They didn't want us to be able to have that to be able to look up on. Now I'm sure back in the in the continent or whatever, it's like even though colonialism was there, it's that family unit. It makes
That's what Aisha was saying.
The African countries or whatever, the family's still there, so that fiber is still there. What makes America right now for black people to be considered such a asshole or whatever is because it's like we talk about black business. I talk about black business all the time, whatever. But without black business systems, you're part of their system.
Right.
So it's like without our systems, you can there's opportunities out there. There's opportunities for you to come and add to their system. If you're the smartest and the brightest or find your niche or whatever, they want you to be able to come and add to their system. What they do not want us to do is create our own systems.
Right.
So when we step up and actually rise up, or we get one of our finest to pull up and say, look, we got a system that we feel like we can actually get our people out of this mindset that they're in, that's when they come after those people that are part of that system. So it's a systematic thing. It's not about the people not having opportunities. So they're gonna let those who want to go after opportunities. Opportunities are there to go out there, so they don't mind us getting through the cracks because we're adding to their bottom line in the end. Even though we can make a living or a lifestyle, or even create a livelihood for a few others, they're not gonna let us come in and dominate in something that we were naturally meant to dominate. It's like, why would you? If you're in power, why don't you let somebody come in and take over your power structure?
Right. That's real.
And their mindset is meant to, whether they believe that or not, the powers that be actually push that down, all the way down to the highest of the high, number 45 or whoever, all the way down to the guy that's over there in the trailer park.
Okay.
That's true.
Thank you, Cecil, for calling in. We appreciate it. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Okay.
Man, I really enjoy learning and hearing, people's different perspectives. Like, for real, like, because it feels like a think tank to me now, because it's like, okay, so now I want to ask questions, you know what I mean? And then I know you wrote something down over here, so you was definitely engaged.
Aisha, I wanted to ask you to talk a little bit more about the family structure in Africa versus what you see here, because to me that was really key, like just the unit.
And I think so. There are parts of Africa where even you have poverty, abject poverty, but you have mom and dad at home. You come home, they're there to ask you how was your day in school, what did you learn, and just basically indoctrinate you that you got to work hard. Your only way out is to do well in school, and that's so you have that pressure in you where you don't have an option. So for me, I feel like that's the difference. We grew up already knowing that failure is not an option. We got to work hard. There's nothing called an excuse. If there's a mountain, you're going to figure out how to move that mountain out of your way. But you come here, and some of my friends come from a one-parent household. Mom is at home. Mom is at work, working 2 to 3 jobs, trying to put food on the table. There's no supervision at home when they go home, so they're left to raise themselves. And children don't grow up in a vacuum. You have to have a strong foundation at home. So you fail in school, no one is at home to say, why you fail in school? Okay, let me help you. Mom probably doesn't even know how to do the math equation.
Or if she does, she's not there.
She's not there to help you, right? So it's like from that, so that's missing. And then you go out to school, your friends are your teachers. They're not going to teach you anything.
Right.
So I think it starts from there. And then you don't do well in school, you'll drop out, and then, what are your options?
Then the cycle starts.
The cycle starts. You may probably be caught with probably an ounce of weed,
So
and then you have a record. You can't get a job.
I got a question for you. What would be wrong with you're a single parent mom? What would be wrong with moving in with another family or back home with your parents? Or
There'll be nothing wrong with that, but chances are maybe they can
but you see my point.
Right.
I'm saying we don't have that mentality where we're not embarrassed to move back home after we are 30, 35, or 40. You know, it's like too embarrassing. I'd rather work another job than to be seen going back home till I get back on my feet, or you know, being in a roommate situation with another family. It's like that mentality for us is like, nah, that we would be too embarrassed to do stuff.
I don't
like
even
that.
know if it's always just embarrassment or it's just not always.
It's not an option.
It's not always an option. Sometimes
No, I'm
it
saying,
is.
okay, even if that's not an option, there are other options that we as people won't
We don't even explore them.
because it looks like we failed because we're not willing to say, I'll do this. I don't care what anybody thinks. They can laugh at me all they want. In a year, I'll be back where I need to be, where I can help my. You know what I'm saying?
But I think, like she said, I don't really know much about the family structure here, but back home is I don't care if you're extended family, you're still family.
Right.
So it's known that if I have some sort of hardship, I can call my aunt. I need your help. I need to move in with you.
Right.
Or like she said, we come here, you have 4 or 5, 6 people in one apartment. Because they know, okay, we need to save money, so we need to be inconvenienced for a little bit, so that way we can create the lifestyle we want.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's all about culture and mindset. That's what we were raised upon. Where it's you got to make it regardless.
Yeah.
I don't care how. The right way, of course.
Yeah.
But you got to make it. Here, I'm really not sure how it's like in terms of family. If I can call my aunt, if I'm here, like, hey, Aunt Lotus, can you help me? I don't know if it's the same thing here, so I really cannot speak on that.
I think there's so much, from what I see, you have it's so much classism like here in America. It's not even the racism is not as prevalent to me as classism is, and we don't even talk about classism like that. But I think that there are so many haves and have-nots, and it's like the have-nots. You're right, can pull together and help each other. However, I think that the mindset is, and maybe it depends on where you are, as far as what region of the country you're in, but there really isn't the mindset, and I'm talking now from living in Texas, of people that really believe in helping each other. They just don't. Like, people will straight up watch you struggle. And knowing that you're doing everything that you could do. Why y'all laughing? Why y'all laughing? I need to know.
Because it's true. It's true.
Huh?
It's true.
Yes, they will watch you struggle. Like, they can know that you're doing everything that you can, but the support system just does not exist like it used to in the black community. It just doesn't. It's like every man for himself now. Like, we don't know how to, we suspect. We don't trust each other. You know what I mean? Like, we could just really be like, what you want? Like, you really helping me like that, but what you really want? You know what I'm saying? We don't just trust that there are good people who really want to see you make it. Like, I've had conversations because I personally have such a heart for black-owned businesses. I've worked in many and not asked for a dime just because I want them to make it. And when I was in position, a different position financially, I didn't care about the money. I didn't need it. I want to see you make it, because when you make it, I make it more, and my children have a better chance because we putting back into the community. But there are not a lot of people with that mindset. Right. So we don't extend a hand. We can see you struggling with your children and won't say anything and even turn our heads because we don't even want you to ask.
Right.
And we'll let somebody go home and be hungry. And we let people live like that.
Right.
Well, I think it's more of a culture, an American culture. Like, that's a part of the culture here. And I think the culture probably developed.
What culture? White culture, black, Hispanic, what culture?
Well,
Asian?
No, there is an American culture. So everybody that's born and raised in America, brought up in America, you kind of adhere.
Me and mine.
Yeah, you adhere to this, because even with the whole situation with the lady that was in California with like a bunch of children, and she had them tied to the bed or whatever. Like the people in that community kind of mind, like they felt like something was weird, but they mind their own business.
Exactly.
So I don't think
and let those children suffer.
Right. So I don't necessarily think that
they knew.
That is a black thing. They didn't know what extent it was, but they knew something wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And
but think about if it's your home. If you don't want people knocking on your door like, hey, what your kids?
There you go.
That's the difference. In Africa, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
It's like everyone is involved.
But my point exactly, that is an American culture to be kind of reluctant and leery, leery of other people and mind your own.
But I don't agree with that, because that's the way it used to be with us. We used to be where
a community.
It used to be a community.
Yeah, when we were more connected to the motherland. Yes. But now
I think we're
so
more.
far
I think we're more connected to the motherland now than we were back then. We're more conscious now about all of this. Just listen to us talk. We all grew up when we were young. We weren't thinking about Africa. We were getting the education from, about white history and Hispanic history. Now we're more educated, but we're less of a village now.
But I know what she's saying. What Solar is saying is, okay. So when we first came out of slavery, we were more dependent on each other. We were more unified with each other. I do think that
I think desegregation played a little bit.
Segregation.
Played a part.
Yeah. And the
But I remember my neighborhood used to be that way, and now it's not. It used to be where you knew everybody on the street. All the parents knew everybody. You knew all the kids. My daddy would spank anybody kids come through. Just you couldn't even curse coming by his fence, and that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
Now it's like we're more connected to Africa, but we're more standoffish.
Yeah.
But I think you also have to be intentional about everything. Just like we were intentional, we were going to be here on time. Same thing. You have to be intentional about wanting to help your neighbor.
Exactly.
You have to be intentional about wanting to know about the welfare of your neighbor's kids.
Right.
So, granted, we are so busy doing busy.
Exactly.
But if you ask us what we are doing, we're not really doing anything. So
busy doing nothing.
Yeah, you call me and I say, "Oh, today I'm so busy." But deep down, if you ask me what I'm so busy doing,
going home to watch some show on
it
TV.
wasn't a lot.
I'm going to watch people who are making money.
Right. Exactly. And give them some of yours watching them.
Right.
So we have to be intentional to create those environments that allow a village feeling to exist.
Right.
So like the five of us here, I want to know your kids' welfare. How are you doing? That you can feel comfortable enough to come and share what the problems are. I think we are so caught up in wanting to look perfect that our life is like
it's so plastic.
It's so like it's moving smoothly. When we know deep down there's so many struggles that you're going through. But if we're not intentional about building those relationships, then we're still going to be in the same spot. Next year we'll be talking about the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. So I think as friends, we need to start thinking in that format and engaging others to think that way. And I think we will go somewhere. So if 20 families are able to start becoming a village, then
that's amazing.
My dream.
And then they know 20 other people.
Yes.
Who become another village. You will find that it can work. It doesn't grow overnight.
I just wonder if we can even find 10 families that would actually come together and really.
I have a question.
I just can't even believe. I feel like who was it in the Bible where they was like, go find the soldiers, and he couldn't find. You know what I'm talking about? They couldn't find like 100 people that really stood for the same mission. I just wonder if we could even find 5 families that would be committed to building like that and living as a village. I don't know.
I read this quote today. And I had to write it down because I was going to post it, but I am going to post it, but I want to read it. It says, I was reading about love and the different types of love, right? And so there was a quote, and it says, all friendly feelings for others are an extension of a man's feelings for himself. So when you said that, that made me think of this quote, because a lot of times, depending on what this quote is saying, is how you feel about yourself is what you're going to extend to other people. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of us, like you said, we're oftentimes trying to, you know, paint this picture that, you know, our life is great or whatever, and we don't want to expose ourselves to anybody. But at the same time, we're not willing to help anybody because, you know, really everything ain't great. You know, so whatever those feelings or emotions or whatever that you convey to other people, that's pretty much how you feel about yourself. And this is from Aristotle. And it just made me reflect on myself, like, dang, really? And I can't tell y'all what I was thinking because it's like a personal, you know what I'm saying, like self-reflection, and I got to work on me. But it just really made me think about, like, you know, how I actually interact and deal with people.
Treat other people.
Yeah.
There's another quote that's similar too that says, we should want for our brother what we want for ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just don't. Oh, it feels so doomed, but we just don't live like that. And I know that it sounds so simple, but I think the answer really is simple. It's just that we don't see it. Like, we don't see it because we feel like we don't get the fact that when we put all of our resources together, I don't have less. I have more because I have all of this belongs to me. But it belongs to him and you and you and you too. So we have more when we bring it together, but we so stuck in this mindset, let me keep what I got because this is mine and I don't want to share what I have because I'm going to have less. No. If we really could see the vision, we really, really, really could make it. Like, we would be the most powerful people in the world if we actually brought our resources together and the mindset of want for my brother what I want for myself, or the village concept. But we're stuck, and this is a direct impact, I guess is the only word that I can come up with, from slavery, the Willie Lynch time period. It's just the division that we have because we don't trust. We bought into the mindset that we cannot trust each other.
Right.
We bought in.
I have a question. I would like to know people who come over from other countries. So we're just going to say African people, right? You're coming from different parts of Africa, different countries in Africa, right? Yes. And so I'm sure some of the culture or the traditions are a little different. Am I correct?
Very different.
Okay, so when you come to America, do you become like, do all the different countries kind of become as one, like a little village within itself in America, since, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out if I'm asking.
Does the African community unite, or
is it
like even though they were different there, when we get here, America is so different that they have to come together?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Not necessarily. Well, let me talk about the Kenyan community because that's where I'm from. The Kenyan community tends to get together. And so even though we may have different cultures back home, when we come here, it's different. We are in a different country and we become one. And so you will find that even though there may be some types of divisions that are similar to tribal, to racism and all that, but we call it tribalism, it's just prejudice from one, because we don't speak the exact same language. But however, when there's a calamity or there is a wedding or you will find that we will come together. Say somebody has died and their body needs to be shipped back home. You will find that the community
everybody comes together
and contributes, and that person is able to be shipped back home. So despite the fact that we are far away from home, sometimes we also still feel like we are home because we still have that community feeling.
That's good.
That I can reach out to my Kenyan brothers and sisters who are here in the U.S., not necessarily just in Texas, but all over the U.S.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the
No,
same.
you're right. Yeah, I think when we come here, the unifying thing is we're African, whether we're from a different tribe or not.
Correct.
We kind of stick together because we're from the same country, and sometimes we take it far ways. Like, okay, you're Kenyan, but we're still African, so I don't see a Gambian, so I'll hang with you because we're from Africa. So I think that kind of, just being from the same continent kind of unifies us,
Yes.
where we create our own little Africa.
Is that like us being? Would that be like us going to Africa, and then I know there's some people over there from New York,
Right, so you just kind
Cleveland.
of attract each other and you
Yeah.
click
Yes.
because I don't know you, but we're from the same place.
Yeah,
So that's the
we got
unifying
something in
factor.
common.
Right, we have something in common.
That's what I was trying to figure out. But some of the stuff that you mentioned, Dr. Lucy, it just made me think about Black Americans. Like, we do have some of those similar things to whereas we may clash, you know, not the whole, but as like families and extended families, which is pretty much how it go. Friends, extended families, you married into the family, you know, kind of go like that. And so we may clash, we may not always come together, but when something serious happens, like Big Mama dies or, you know, something, you know, traumatic, somebody lost a child or whatever it is, like the family tends to come together then. So I was just trying to figure out, like, you know, the similarities between the two. And there are some, you know, based on what you guys said, there are some similarities. It's just that, you know, all of Black America is here in Black America, so we don't have a need to pretty much have that unifying characteristic. So it's kind of just an extension of friends and extended family, like that.
What you got on that paper over there, Dr. Lucy?
What do I have?
What's on that paper? It's a lot of writing on that paper.
Well, there was something similar to what you said. That greatness and respect come from people themselves. Implied is that you become what you want to become, and that if you want to be respected, begin by respecting yourself. So that was something that I thought about today in relation to, you know, what the statement was made. And so the respect that that the office of the president had is being watered down by remarks that really should never really come from that office. And so to me, I think when it comes to respect, I'm hoping that moving forward that that will be something that will be well handled, even how we, you know, how you speak in front of people when he goes out to other countries to visit. So I'm hoping that you know, that will be something that we will see a change.
From who?
I
From Donald Trump?
I wouldn't hold my breath.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, he's gonna have to
He says stuff that the local librarian shouldn't even say. Like, that's real talk. If you had a lemonade stand, you shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
So
You can keep that in the comfort of your own home type of stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
what time is it?
Well, it is.
Because I got a question for the ladies.
We'll give you a question.
What time is it?
We got time. Well, it's 15. We got 15 minutes.
All right. I want to know from each of you.
Those two?
Yes.
Oh. So not all of us.
Nope.
Okay.
Because I already know what y'all think.
You don't know nothing.
How do you really, really feel about blacks in America? I ain't talking about what you gonna say. I'm talking about when y'all having an African party in the hood, the African hood. What are y'all saying about us?
Okay, can I be honest?
Yes, please.
This is truth moment.
So when I first came to America, I'll be honest, I didn't think much about Black Americans, and I would say based on the stereotype that I bought into, what I see on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, they're lazy.
Yeah.
This, that, and then I studied history, the history of slavery, and all of that, and I got the opportunity to make some friends, African American friends, and I started to see things from a different perspective, and I'm reminded of this saying that's do not judge a man until you walk a mile in his shoes. I was coming from a different culture, different mindset, judging African Americans. So now I would say I love African Americans because I see you. I mean, I now. I don't want to say I understand the struggle because I'm not African American. I grew up differently, but I can empathize, and I'm not as harsh as I was when I first got here.
Right.
That is a beautiful answer.
Whoa, how does anybody follow that?
No. Well, it's your turn.
It's my turn. And I want to echo some of the points that Aisha made. Really, when I came to America, first and foremost, I really didn't realize I was, because in our country, we don't really talk about blacks and whites and that. If you're Kenyan, you're Kenyan, regardless of whether you're white or black. So I come here, and I had worked for the airlines before I came to America, British Airways. So we never had this thing about being black or white either. Until I get here, and I realized that, and I went to Pennsylvania, of all the states, in a very small town where blacks were not that often seen. And I go to the store, and a white little girl comes and touches me to see whether my color is real.
Wow.
I think that moment really stuck with me. But I also realized that there weren't many African Americans in that college either. So my choice of college was also not appropriate.
Not appropriate.
Not appropriate. So with having gotten to see how people struggle, because when you watch on TV, they don't show you any suffering black Americans on TV, except when they showed us when we watched Roots. That was the only show that I can say that I saw black Americans struggling. But after that, most of the black Americans you would see on TV were doing very well.
Yeah.
Then you realize not everybody does well. It is a struggle for everybody. I found African Americans to be very standoffish when it comes to dealing with Africans and them.
Right.
And I still never have understood why there's even a rift.
Between Africans and African Americans?
Yes.
Oh, that bothers me so much.
I have an answer, but go ahead.
Yeah, I still never understood. I can still say I still don't understand why there's a rift. We are, when it comes to discrimination, they don't care whether you're from Africa or from African American. You look the same color, you're all in the same basket. So now I appreciate the struggles that they've made. To looking at Oprah Winfrey winning an award after 54 years from the time Sidney Poitier won that award.
Yeah.
You want to tell me in 54 years there was not a single other black woman that could have won this award before 54 years? So some of these struggles are real, and they hurt us in one way or another, whether we like it or not. But now I am more concerned, where do we go from there? Yeah, those struggles have happened. As an African American, how do I help the kids who are growing up now move past this feeling of constant thinking how they were slaves, their parents their ancestors were slaves? How do we get past that they become employers, that they become the owners of businesses and create wealth for them? I think that is where I would like to see us head, where African Americans create a strong environment that will showcase just how significant their contributions are in this country.
Right.
Yeah.
You wanted to hear the answer for that?
Okay, so because we've discussed this so many times about the rift between African and African Americans, and I think both sides are to blame. We come. I hope no one's offended as an African. I think we come with already believing the stereotype we've seen on TV. they're lazy, welfare people, you know, they don't want to work hard. And so we come with this standoffish attitude where it's like, okay, you guys are lazy, I'm going to come into your country and make use of the opportunity you have
that you won't take advantage
of. And then also then you have African Americans who believe the Jungle Book, we live in huts, we do this, we do that, and make fun of us and feel like, oh, we're less than, oh, you know, and then we are like, oh, who are you? So, you know, we both have bought into this stereotype that has been put out about each party, and I feel like African Americans somehow react to us because I wouldn't lie, like I said, when I first got here, I did have a standoffish attitude, and it's like, okay, who are you? I mean, I'm coming to your country and I'm taking advantage of what you have. So I feel like you guys are reacting to that, and then we keep acting that way. And it
just goes back and forth.
It just goes back and forth, back and forth. And then when you guys want to hit below the belt, well, I mean, you guys live in huts, you know, just silly stuff, which annoys us even more. Like, okay, you're just dumb. Like, I'm not even going to bother with you. So I think it's really... I may be wrong. People obviously have a different opinion, but that's what I think the issue is.
Right. I agree.
I can see that.
Because we all have stereotypes of each other.
Were you guys accepted more from African Americans or white Americans?
Accept what?
Accepted.
When you came to America.
It's so funny. Somebody asked me that, and I said I was accepted more by white people.
You were too?
Yes, than African Americans.
I think white people do accept them more than they expect.
More than they accept us.
Because some people have said, when they came, they try to reach out to African Americans, like, oh, you know, that's my brother, that's my sister. You guys kind of push this away.
I can't even imagine that.
So
that's true.
Yeah, when I first got here, whites were more friendly to me than African Americans.
I cannot imagine that.
I think white people think Africans are less of a threat than us.
What do you mean? How are we a threat?
I think they consider you and Solar are a bigger threat than them. Because if they hear their accent and they're from Africa, they know they're coming from Africa with a different mentality. It ain't it ain't a ghetto mentality. White people think a lot of blacks. They think a lot of. And before they get to know you, they'll see you and think you're good. And then they hear the African accent, and it's like, oh, she's probably here to go to college or to be a nurse or you know what I'm saying. And we just hear getting over on the government. So I think that's why they accept Africans better than they do.
I listen to a lot of talk radio, right? And so, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Sometimes I listen to like far right just because I want to hear.
I do too. I want to know what they're talking about.
Yes,
like, what you fools talking about today.
So look, check this out. So yesterday, I'm listening, and this man was talking about his neighbors who are black, and they're African, and he said they just come over here and have a bunch of babies, and they think that the government and welfare is a form of employment, and all they want to do is. I was just laughing like, there are more white people on welfare than there are black folks. It is so hilarious to me that they are that dang on ignorant to believe that this is our mission in life. This is literally our mission. But now I'm hearing, and I've heard this before, that a lot of people, even Africans, think that of African Americans, that we just have it easy. We just live off the government and we good, you know. So.
Oh, wow. So the agenda that is being pushed through media is the idea, like, whatever you see in the media, right, on TV or whatever, the idea that you get of black people, that's like a European, you know what I'm saying, idea. Like, that's what they think about black people, period, when that's totally not the case because they don't interact enough with black Americans. To even know. Yeah, to even know. But what I was thinking is the reason why white people will befriend people from Africa more is because I feel like they just kind of want, like, they want somebody that's unique and different, you know, because they
kinda
always
exotic.
Like, because they always do the stuff like climb up a mountain and fall and break their leg, and then they got to go back with a prosthetic leg.
That?
White people.
Oh,
and then they do it again. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know, they like challenge and excitement and adventure and newness, and you know. So that's what I was thinking.
That's funny.
So what would you say your experiences have been with Africans?
I would say that I feel like Africans are more standoffish to me, and I think it's kind of rude when they speak in another language when I'm around and I can't understand, and I'm trying to be friendly and kind of join in, but I really can't because they're like, they're like having their own conversation, so I'm kind of quiet. But I haven't had that experience with all Africans. So in the beginning, when I was younger, yes, it just felt a little uncomfortable because, it was nothing that I can really relate, to with them. But now that I'm older, I'm able to communicate better, I guess. And it's still kind of shaky, especially if I meet them like once or, but if I, like where I go and get my hair done, like I go to the same place. Mm-hmm. And so it's always the same ladies there. And so I'm able to kind of joke with them a little bit and we're able to laugh. And then they may have like a movie, like an African movie on. So I'm able to kind of follow the dialogue and different stuff like that. So it's getting better. But it's not, great. Like I don't have a bunch of African friends, And I'm more so, I think more so the guys, like African men, are easier to talk to. I don't know if it's because it's the opposite sex or what, but they seem more, just easier to talk to than the women. That's my experience. What I want to know about your face. Like,
Well, I'm just cut from a different cloth because I don't even let folks that's my color do nothing because I'm going to embrace you. You gonna embrace me back.
She's like
period. I'm just gonna break the ice because I feel like you are just my distant cousin, so that's just who you are. I'm not going to allow people. Now I do get some people that kind of push back, but that's in all cultures. So I personally don't have a real difference in experiences between Africans and African Americans. Now, the men are a little interesting to me. But black men, African American men are a little interesting to me, too. Don't say
Texas
nothing.
Texas men, you said the other day.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
For me, it's like when I thought we were, when I was younger, I bought into the stereotype about Africans because I thought that I was included in the other stuff. And then as I got older, I realized, wait a minute, y'all have lied to us. I don't have a history with you. It's right. All a lie. Like we're all brothers and sisters. And then I used to sort of act different around Africans. Like now I'm like, okay, I'm going to act the way I want to act, and I don't care what you think, and you should act the way you want to act, and we'll be cool.
I can't see that because you act like when white folks come around, you do not change.
I don't. Why would I?
So, but why would you when Africans come around?
I said.
Okay. So back in the day, you used to be like that with white people too.
How did you act though, Daryl? Were you acting like I'm not them?
You can't because you have the stereotype, just like she said that they're more educated. They're coming over here, to get educated. So you were
standoffish towards them?
Not really that, because they were usually standoffish to me. It ain't like I ever just had Africans come up to me saying, "How you doing?" It's like you could kind of see or hear if they was Africans, and never the twain.
So wasn't nobody budging, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. But I wanted to let them know that I wasn't an idiot, so I would be a certain way and wouldn't have fun. But now I'm like, I don't care. I'm having fun. I might be an idiot.
You would have.
But I'm an idiot.
But now, I mean, even in the club back in the day, you see an African come in the club every now and then, and it was like, oh, an African. Now it's like they come in all the time. Hey man, what's up, man? It's just that's what it is. We just I think they realize it too. Like, man, we over here together. We different, but we still brothers. So.
But not really. All right, y'all. It's 10 o'clock. I know it's been a great conversation.
Yes, it's a learning experience. It is.
So let's wrap it on up. So the way we do our wrap up is we just kind of go around the table and everybody give their final thoughts of the conversation for the night. Aisha!
Yes, first. Well, thank you guys. I had fun. And, I think as people, we have a lot of work to do. Regardless of what other people say, we need to focus on us and do what we can do to move ourselves forward. And I feel like if you have your house in order, nobody can disrespect you. But when you do not have your house in order and you're looking to other people for help, they will disrespect you. So I feel like it's up to us to do what we can do to move ourselves forward.
Okay.
Whether here in Africa or here in America.
Or both.
Both, yeah.
Okay. Dr. Lucy.
Oh, thank you so much, Lotus, for inviting me to your show again, and it's always great to see both of you.
Thank you.
I think everything that has happened everything that happens for a reason, and I believe this is an opportunity for all of us. If we feel so offended by just being disrespected in terms of what has been said. So my challenge is, where do we want to be 3 years down the road? If you are looking to do self-improvement, this is your time. Don't just sit back and think that 3 years down the road somebody's not going to disrespect you again. So I think for us right now, the best thing we can do is find what the opportunity is for us as individuals and as communities and move forward. And it's always great to be here. I look forward to another time of discussions.
Ask Dr. Lucy.
Great.
Ask Dr. Lucy.
I would like to say thank you to both of you for joining us tonight. We really value your input and the information that you've shared with us. I know I do. And it's always a learning experience for me. And I want to apologize because I don't necessarily like to show like differentiation between like African and African American, but for the sake of the conversation, you know, I kind of had to do that tonight, but I apologize. But what I want to say, what I am taking from this is we just need to be better neighbors, you know, better people. Definitely have to fix what's in ourselves first in order to, you know, give love and give respect and just, you know, just, I don't know, just be of service to other people. But I think that's something that we definitely need to work on as people, as humans, is that we need to get back to smiling and speaking and giving compliments and just kind of building relationships. So I want, you know, everybody else to kind of take that too.
All right. What's up, G?
I think just like when we were growing up, we were fed the stereotypes about Africans, and I think now we just need to start reversing that, you know, because kids are listening, you know, they're watching just like we did growing up. That's how we got the stereotypes, because mine came from people older about what Africans did and what they were, even on American television. So, but once your eyes are open and you realize we've been lied on, we've been lied to, obviously they have as well, especially here in America. So for me now, it's like when I think about it, the way my family used to be, and probably a lot of other families, it was more based on African, you know, it was African culture. It was African heritage. It ain't this American stuff, time out and you know, it's just not. It wasn't that. It was, you gonna do what I tell you to do. It ain't.
And it ain't nothing to talk about.
That was you know, that was us. That helped us. I think that works for us in America. I mean, people may disagree, but I think once we started trying to raise our kids like Europeans, we're not Europeans. We're in America. Once we started trying to raise our kids like Europeans and whites here in America, that's where we started sliding off. You know, when they came into our home telling us what we couldn't do when it came to discipline with our kids, and when we started trying to mimic them, I think we lost our kids, and we're not in a position to do that in America. You know, we may be able to get away with it in Great Britain, I mean, but in America, I think we need to slowly start going back to the African ways and African village and the discipline and you got to work hard, and because this Americanized way of living ain't working for black people in America. It's like really killing us.
That was good. Dang, I don't gotta say nothing. You did that.
Oh, here we go.
You did that.
Watch this.
Don't
fall for that. Listen to this.
Whatever, man. I want to thank you guys so much. Aisha, I'm so happy to see you. I wish I had more time with you. Aisha, for some of you that are just tuning in, she was part of the foundation, helping us to lay the foundation. Solar and I and our other sister, Georgette, started Soul Sister Stand Up a few years ago, and Aisha came in right at the beginning and got to work and was consistent and dedicated and showed up, and so I missed that. And what did make me feel really good is when Daryl said we really need to bring that back, because I've heard that from several people. So thank you for coming. I'm glad that you're here. Dr. Lucy, it's always a pleasure to have you come and sit at the table, and we just get to learn, and just your spirit and your energy is so meek and mild, but still so full of knowledge, and it's genuine. It's genuine concern with the connection between the two, and you know that that's a passion that I have, and it's so real. So what I would like to say about the subject tonight is we are a great people, and if we were not such a great people, the entire world would not work so hard at keeping us down and keeping us divided and keeping their foot on our neck. All cultures try to keep us under them because we are so great. And what's so funny is everybody knows it but us. And once we really figure out the richness that we have, and it is because of where we come from, there is no African American that should ever want to deny coming from such a great place. Even if you've never been there. I've never been to Africa, and I am in love with Africa because that is where my people came from. And so I think when we start to on purpose learn our own history, and on purpose tap into who we are and who we come from and the greatness, we will fall in love with Africa. Who wants to be associated with the story of slavery? Like, that is not our beginning. It is something that we went through. We were an enslaved people. However, our richness is so much richer than that. But even that story is beautiful because we went through it and we came out. So the Africans that are denying African Americans, think about your brother and your sister being taken from their land that you guys got to have. You have something that you can identify with, but also think about how great they are because they survived that story. And therefore the African Americans tap into the fact that the world benefited from you. The entire world benefited from the African people. And that includes me and everybody at this table. So I just say we're at a stage now, and I'm talking about the people at this table and our age group, where we have to make a decision for our children. And that needs to be, like G said, to change the narrative, change the conversation, and make them want to buy into their own story so that they're not robbed of that rich history that they have. And then I also want to say, when you think about how powerful we are when we come together, we're powerful individuals. African Americans are powerful individually. Africans are powerful individually. Anywhere you go in this world and you see people that look like you, that have melanated skin the color of yours, celebrate that and love that, because that is a great individual. Because we endure things in this world that nobody has endured. We have given to this world that things that nobody has given to this world, from science and medicine to mathematics to food and our culture and our dance and creativity and the arts and athletic and our great minds. But you got to believe it for yourself. So celebrate who you are. As we come up on African, I don't even know what we call it, Black History Month, because to me Black History is every single day of my life. However, go in thinking about celebrating more than just the stories that you heard growing up as a child. Learn something new. Teach something new to your children. Go find for African Americans, find some Africans that you can connect with and learn. Ask them questions because they have a part of your history that you don't have. I can ask questions about the Gambia and about Kenya and some of our other brothers and sisters in Nigeria and Malawi and all these great countries, the good and the bad. But get to know who you are and where you come from. So that's our time tonight on the Black and the Berry. We always enjoy you guys tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Spread the word, and we are definitely trying to do better here at HighVibe Media Marketing Group when it comes to having those conversations about our people and how we can be and do better and live better lives. That's our time. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace. Don't you say nothing, dog.
Turn my mic off.
Because you know.